late October 2012, I went to visit sites associated with the Holocaust. And it was really a unique trip. I had already been appointed to New Zealand. And we went to visit the different parts, the Warsaw Ghetto and Auschwitz and other places. And one of the places that we visited, which brought New Zealand close to me, was a visit to the Commonwealth Cemetery in Krakow. And as I was walking there, I saw headstones of New Zealand soldiers. New Zealanders, they didn't fight here. No Western country fought in Poland. It was the Red Army, basically. How did they get here? Maybe they could have been, pilots, but they weren't. So obviously there must have been POWs who died and then they were buried there. This is something that needs to be explored and researched. First of all, because it's a curiosity. Second of all, because coming to New Zealand as ambassador, I felt that it would give an additional aspect to my work as ambassador, trying to bring the two peoples together. And the message was, we go back a long time. And I said, about reading different books and stories and to see where New Zealanders, if at all, New Zealanders and Israelis met. But then I ran into a book which changed everything. The book is called Letters from the Desert. And it was written by a member of a kibbutz who volunteered to become a driver in the British Army. In that book there are 8 letters in which he refers to a friend that he had met somewhere in Jordan. He refers to him as Tate. T-A-T. Yeah. So I said, okay, I'll come to New Zealand. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to, find, and I was here at this museum. We started exploring. Can we find a Tate? I did look on the cenotaph, and I've been looking for the past 2.5 years, every month more or less. In one of the letters, he quotes a letter he had received along with a packet from someone by the name of Eleanor Tate. There is an Eleanor Tate, or there was an Eleanor Tate living in New Zealand. Now, I have approached so many people, historians, ex-military people, shared the story and said if they could help. And one of them went out of his way. He researched Eleanor Tate. He found her daughters and granddaughters. She had no son. Anyway, so far, despite all my efforts and the efforts of so many people, we could locate such a person, such a Tate. And the thing is, we have several clues with which to work. We know that that soldier was stationed in Transjordan somewhere in around October, November 1941. I checked, there were New Zealand soldiers stationed somewhere in Transjordan around that period of time. So it stands to reason that he must have run into him. Then we know that he was killed, this fellow Tate or someone, in 1942, in and around El Alamein battle, namely September, October 1942. And the question is, how does one go about trying to identify? So there we are. Unfortunately, up to this moment, I haven't been able to identify the person. I would like to hear from anyone who had a relative who was stationed in Transjordan and was killed about a year later in North Africa, in El Alamein. If we use Eleanor Tate as an anchor in his circle of relatives or people he knew, and I think that it would be extremely interesting if we could find such a family. I'd love to give them the book so they'll have something that can bring back memories. And of course, I'd love to tell the family of who is the family of that soldier that your grandfather or your father wrote. I'm not giving up, so even if I don't find everything while I'm here, I'm certainly going to dedicate time and research in Israel.